Hello, I'm Leslie Wilcox. This is one in a series of clips that are about the adoption of service automation, experiences and lessons. This particular clip is about RPA and CA, robotic process automation and cognitive automation, as potentially complementary technologies. And certainly this is what we have been seeing since certainly late 2017. And I'll give you some examples of this that we have researched. So we know that our robotic process automation does the rules-based, repetitive, uninteresting work using structured data. But clearly it has a lot of limitations. The first one would be it can only use structured data, for example, whereas cognitive automation tools can use unstructured data as well as structured data. The other thing that robotic process automation can't do is it can't arrive at a probabilistic outcome in terms of setting out a range of possibilities and weighting them as recommendable or not recommendable. It has to have one answer. So enter cognitive automation, which can build on these and solve these weaknesses, solve these limitations. So let's have a look at an example. The example I will use is IBM Global Services. One of their units here is a service desk, essentially global. Has about 1,000 customers, has already signed up to some 200 RPA software licenses, and has in-house IBM Watson, a cognitive automation tool. And how would they be used as complementary, these two technologies? Well, here you can see that requests for help from clients come in in several different forms. But whatever form they are in, the RPA tool will need to have a template structured data. So in order to use RPA, this all has to go into a pro forma ticket. The RPA tool then takes that and could deal with the request automatically if it's a standardized complaint request which has an automated solution. But more likely, there is not an automated solution available just through RPA. There could be an awful lot of exceptions. Enter the cognitive automation tool. So what role does this have? Well, the RPA tool passes the data over necessary to activate the cognitive automation tool. And the cognitive automation tool looks at, first of all, the type of request, classifies it. Is it a data center problem? Is it a help desk problem? Is it a protocol problem? Defines and classifies the type of problem, and then it can actually draw upon data from the legacy systems about people who are able to resolve that problem, and it can identify, because it's been trained to do so, the top 10 people available in the planet within IBM who could possibly resolve that problem. The cognitive automation tool then hands that back to the RPA tool to execute, to find out the details of these people, where they are, whether they're available, and send them the details of the problem that needs resolution. So that's one pathway through which RPA and CA could operate as complementary. Of course, there are variants on this. You could have just structured data coming into the help desk, in which case RPA could manage that. Or if it wasn't structured data, you could have a cognitive automation tool like IBM Watson at the front end structuring the data and feeding into the RPA tool. You could have, in other situations, a different way of them being complementary. For example, a lot of banks these days have or are piloting customer inquiries and chatbots. Now, the chatbot would be a cognitive automation tool, but it would rely upon an RPA tool to get information that enables it to deal with an inquiry or a complaint from the legacy systems and from the information available within the organization. And it could then, once it's resolved what action needs to be done, could then tell the RPA tool to execute everything that the bank customer needs executed in order to resolve the problem or the request. So there are a lot of different ways, and organizations that we're researching are being quite innovative in the way that they marry up the use of RPA tools and cognitive automation tools to solve their business problems. And very often this is resulting in much faster resolution, much more accurate resolution, and in the end, happier customers, as well as freeing up employees to deal with different types of work or serious problems that cannot be resolved by these machines.